morning, everybody. How are you? The devilishly handsome Ian Dixon. Good morning, sir.
Shut up, for fuck's sake. Jesus.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Short Wise Up Rise Up show, coming to you live from Ettington Park in Stratford-upon-Avon. That's where I am today. Forgive the shaky hand. I don't have somewhere to prop you up, but I'm here nevertheless. This Wise Up Wednesday. I hope you are feeling good today. Let me know in the comments how you're all doing. I hope you are all feeling good and enjoying the week so far. I have been hosting a retreat for Amplify, which is the mastermind that I run with the incredible Deep Badwa. I just want it. I don't know if I can show you or not. I don't think I can reverse the camera, but I can turn you round. So I'm currently in our room. All the rest of the masterminders are downstairs kicking off day 2. And this, I don't think you can see properly, but this is the view from this is the view from my bedroom window. I don't know if you can see that, if the reflection was there or not, but it's absolutely beautiful. And we only found out when we got here that actually we're staying in one of the UK's most haunted hotels. So when this hotel was built, it was around the same time as the Doomsday Book, and there's all sorts of funny stories, quirky stories, scary stories about apparitions over the years, but it is absolutely stunning. We've had the best time, and these guys that are here have been really focusing on their business growth. So that's what me and Deep have been doing. We've kind of come together, joined our superpowers up for this particular mastermind for Amplify. So it's really great to see all of the delegates, all of the clients that are part of this start to form those bonds, start to form that sisterhood, start to have each other's backs, and also really see what their potential is. So it's been great to be in that space for the past few days. The food has been amazing. So how are you all? Let me know in the comments. We are wising up together this Wednesday. On Wednesday, I do, as best I can, like to have different guests on to come and talk about what they're getting up to, talk about what their area of expertise are. And today is no different. So today I've got the absolutely gorgeous Prash Sharma joining us, talking about singledom, talking about being and not one half but a whole, and talking about all the things that she is getting up to, particularly today. So I'm going to add her into the show. Good morning, my angel.
Hello.
Good morning. Good morning. I just want to check. Can everyone hear Prash? Because I couldn't hear you just then, my darling.
Could you hear me?
And it's totally okay. It might be mine. It might be mine. Give us a hello, and then everyone in the comments can see and let me know if we can hear you.
Hello, hello. Can you guys
hear me? Hello. You can all hear. I can't hear. So that must mean, Prash, fret not. It's my settings that are an issue, which is a pain in the backside. But fret not. I'm on it. I'm all over it. If I turn up the media like this, and then as if by magic come back to the studio and then Prash says hello, and I can hear you. Hooray, me, what a knobhead I am. So because I'm sharing a room with Deep, I've turned all the media settings down, so when I was watching things on subtitles in the middle of the night, I couldn't sleep because it's so bloody hot in here, I forgot to turn it up. I can hear you. It's not you, it's me.
First time ever. It's not me, it's somebody else.
Oh, Prash, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Because I know you've had a rough few days. You have not been feeling so well, have you not, babe?
Yeah, even I'm looking at myself in there and I'm going, oh my God, Prash, like you.
You look beautiful. You always do, babe. You always do. But it's never when you're kind of not on top of your health game, when you've had a cold or when you've not been feeling so well, and you've had a few days like that, and the very fact that you're here and you do look beautiful is brilliant.
Oh, thank you. It's just it's the season, isn't it? Like everybody's getting it, everybody has
They've got something. Everyone's got something, whether it's the C word or not. Like,
we don't want to talk about the thing. We don't want to give it any more attention than it
no,
deserves.
absolutely not.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. And hello to all of you. I hope you're all feeling well this morning. So, Prash, we've got on here the title, The Heartbreak Healer. Tell us a little bit more about what it is that you do.
So, firstly, Dani, thank you for having me in the show this morning. I did know you were in Mastermind, and I was like, oh my God, how is she going to do it? Like, she's there all the way. She's not in the
Busy little
studio.
bee.
But you always know how to make it work. So, hi everyone. My name is Prash, and I call myself the Heartbreak Healer. What I genuinely do is I work with women who've been through a painful or a traumatic breakup, and they're kind of lost in the shadows of that relationship. They're still living in the shadow of that relationship, still not fully aware of what they want, what they like, what are their choices, because they invested 100% of themselves in the relationship. In turn, like everybody says, oh, they ended up becoming the other half, or worse yet, the better half of
Right.
somebody else's whole.
Mhm.
And they just literally feel that way now because they've stopped living for themselves. And I work with them to give them their identity, their independence, their heart. When you've broken up in a relationship, it's very difficult for you to trust yourself,
Right.
because you're literally sat there going, I put so much effort into that relationship and I couldn't make it work. We always, for some reason, women tend to think that we need to make that relationship work.
Yeah.
And it didn't. So a failed relationship, exactly, like, for example, a failed relationship equals to failed me.
Right.
And when I failed in something so big, why would I then trust myself ever again to make any other decisions?
Right.
And I help them come out of that and understand that a relationship complements each other. A relationship doesn't complete each other. You are still complete, and you can go ahead and have a beautiful life that you deserve, just as beautiful as you are. So that's what I mainly do.
I love that, and as part of the story that I tell, at one point in time, I felt like, I mean, how you describe it there is a beautiful example, actually, of I didn't feel like I could make a good decision. I didn't feel like I could. I didn't feel like I had a good choice within me, because every choice that I'd made so far was bad. And it wasn't just the bad things happened, and I didn't know how to break that cycle of needing external validation. I would always have described myself as like a serial monogamist. I would be in one relationship and I would always be validated by being somebody's other half, and that somebody I probably would have to serve more than is really necessary. So when that was taken out of the equation, I was on my own, particularly a single parent. That whole bit of my identity was lost. And I'm just interested, for those of you that are watching along, have you felt that before, when you've gone through a breakup, feeling like a failure, you couldn't make it work, so it was your fault, no matter what this person did, guy, girl, whoever it is for you, you couldn't make it work, and therefore it was your failure? Has anybody ever carried that with them? Because I think that's the important piece of work, and that's what draws me to you and the work that you do, Prash, is that realization that you're not one half of anything. You're a whole something, ready to meet somebody when you are, who is a whole something also, right?
Yeah, you're always whole. You were born a whole. No, none of us ever, when we break up from a relationship or anything happens, it's not like you see half of people walking around trying to do something right. So it's just that I would love to find out where. I'm actually going to do some research. I want to know where that term came from, because it's so engraved into our society that
Right.
you literally, when you break up, you actually feel like, yes, I understand. Look, I've been through it. I've been through the worst of it all. And you feel like your whole world shattered. Yes, it has. But the world you built together has shattered. The relationship has failed. Yes, it has. The relationship you had with the other person has failed. But you're not shattered. You're still the person. You're not half. You're still a whole person. You brought that relationship to where you wanted it to be. Yes, it didn't work. Not always does a relationship fail because of big things. Sometimes people just grow apart. You all of a sudden realize a few years down that I have nothing in common with this person.
Right.
All, no matter what it is, it's all trauma. Whether it's a big trauma or a small trauma, it's still a trauma. Breaking of a relationship, especially a significant one, is a trauma. So your trauma response then turns around and become, oh, I can't do anything right. I want to date someone again. I want to go out there. Oh, no, no, no. I don't think I'm going to. Okay, I only attract wrong people towards me.
Yeah. It's always the same type. I always bring the same type in.
Yeah, I'm the magnet to all these rescue projects and things like that, right? So that happens. And because you go out there into the world with that belief already inside of you, the world has no choice but to make sure your belief comes true. That's how everything always works. And then you end up in that cycle of, the repeating cycle of making one mistake after another, going through wrong relations. And then that's it. It completely breaks you down. So what we need to do is come back to us and understand I am still the same person I was before I was in that relationship. So who was I and how can I be? Yes, my experiences were different. I've grown more. I have more wisdom. I have more knowledge now. I'm still the same person, right? I am not in a half. I am still.
We don't have, so say for example, those of us that are parents, we don't have babies and we look at these babies and say, actually, baby, you are not, here you are, a half person. You are only actually going to be a whole person when you meet someone and you get into a relationship. That we're not giving birth to half people here. We're giving birth to whole people. Those of us that are parents, those of us that foster, adopt, that have these, these young people in our lives. Like I don't look at Pops and Daisy and Ivy and think, oh, do you know what? You're only going to be validated when you've got a partner. I'm trying to hold that off as long as possible, if I'm perfectly honest with you.
Yeah.
But when do we stop thinking like that? And this is culturally as well. Like we've talked about this together as a society. A person gets to a certain age and the questions start being asked. Have you not got a husband yet? Have you not got married yet? Have you not got kids yet? Have you not got these yet? Or like it's a necessity. And again, that's the work that you sit with him, right?
Yeah, you're so right when you say none of us, like, it's not like and then there's also this twin flame and soul flame and this I need to meet my soulmate. Oh my God, come on, meet yourself first. How many of you have actually met yourself first? Right? I asked, when I work with my clients, sometimes I say to them, what I need you to do is I need you to go in front of a mirror, look at yourself in the eye and speak to yourself. Just speak to yourself, have a conversation with yourself. Try that. The most uncomfortable thing you can do is to sit in front of the mirror and look at yourself straight in the eye and try and understand what's going on inside you.
Right.
It's uncomfortable because you know why? Because we're not used to seeing ourselves. We're just used to looking at ourselves in the reflection, like I did this morning. I'm like, quickly put on makeup. I'm like, oh yeah, okay, I think this is the best I can do for today, right?
You were belting.
But did I see myself? No. How many of us have seen ourselves? Forget society is full of validation points, right? It's either a successful relationship, or it's either a successful business, or it's lots of money in your bank account, or it's the degrees that you're earning, or who what you know. Oh my God, let's all come back and validate us first. See, when you validate yourself for just being who you are without anything else attached to it, is when you get that beauty out of you and you can go out in the world reflecting that beauty. And what will happen is then you will attract the people from the same. I know it's such a cliche word, everybody uses it, the word vibration, but
it is what it is, isn't it? It's when we do start thinking like that as magnetic beings, and if we are attracting one kind of thing for so long, then we just think that that's the only thing that we can attract into our world. And actually we could take a little bit more empowerment over that. We can take a little bit more strength over that. And I think this concept of soulmate or life partner or whatever that is, as beings, like human beings, just as animals on this earth, that might not even be what we're designed to do. A lot of our perceptions around relationships are built by constructs, and those constructs are there in some respects to keep us safe, but is it to keep us safe 2,000 years ago? Is it to keep us safe now? Is there a degree of growth that we've got to do over the way we look at things? You've got this great concept around like soulmates. In fact, Amy Blaney says this really well. I've decided to make myself my soulmate. Being your own soulmate, like, you're the person that's stuck with your soul while all the time you're in your body, so that makes perfect sense as that. But we talk about friendships and we talk about boundaries, and sometimes we say for each person a reason or a season, right? So that could be you're friends with that person for life. It could be that you're friends with that person for a few months and that person sort of moves in and out of your life and you serve each other for that reason, to learn something, right? Why are our intimate partner relationships, can that not be similar? Can people not be sent to us to love for a finite amount of time before we kind of carry on our own soul's growth? And you talk about this, right?
Yeah. So I recently did an article as well for a magazine where I talk exactly what you just said, the reason, season, and the lifetime. Whether it's friends, whoever it is in your life, the only person who will be with you forever for a lifetime is you. So I am not trying to say it's not a good thing to be in a relationship. Come on, we all want that companionship. And if your relationship is working beautifully, it's because the two of you are making it work. And if that relationship doesn't work, it's because each of you played a role. But there is with women, in particular with women, this is true. And I think it will stay true for generations. We need to break this generational thing. Whenever somebody gives you a compliment, we are very quick to deflect it. Oh, yeah, but okay. There is always an argument against that compliment. But when things go wrong, we are very, very quick to take all
welcome that in.
Yeah, and then that needs to change, because nothing happens if you are in a relationship where two of you are together. Things go right, it's because you worked with each other. If things go wrong, it's because you couldn't work together with each other. Stop taking all the blame. And what breaks my heart when I especially work with my clients is the fact that you can see they've completely shrunk into this version of themselves they don't even recognize anymore, because they think, and yes, society makes you feel that way as well. You walk around, you can see the looks, you can see the people gossiping behind your back and everything. And you know what? Society will always stay that way. At the end of the day, society is us. We have to change this. And the only way we can change this is by understanding that, yes, I'm no longer interested in living in the shadow of that relationship. I am a person. What happened. I'm going to learn my lessons and carry on.
I love that. I absolutely love that. And again, particularly this time of year, it's a funny old time of year for relationships. So I think there's different seasons for relationships throughout. If we look at like the 12-month period, there's cuffing season, pre-Christmas, where people start to get together because they don't want to be on their own at Christmas. Then there's, January, and there's lots of statistics around sort of divorce and separation. Like they wanted to maybe get through the festive period for the sake of the kids or something like that, or for the sake of each other. And they start to uncuff and come apart from each other. And there's this period in January where statistically, divorce rates go up and all of that sort of stuff. And then we've got towards, we're looking sort of Valentine's Day and that period of time dead in the eye. And often that makes people feel insecure, insignificant, especially if they're single, or if, for example, their partners don't really dig on Valentine's Day, but they would quite like to dig on Valentine's Day, for example. There's lots of emotional ties that are bound up in this time of year. What would you say, Prash, to those people who find themselves in a bit of a conundrum, I guess, at this time of year, where they might feel a little bit on the back foot with themselves? They might feel a little bit insignificant. What would you say?
See, what we all need to understand is consumerism is built that way. It's meant to make you feel that way. And you know what? If you feel it, you're either way too up there in vibration for this world, or you're completely gone into that mode of apathy. We don't want either of them. Oh, okay. We want the other one, which is absolutely fine, but we don't want apathy either. You're supposed to feel these feels. We are so scared to feel our feelings.
Right.
Anytime anything negative pops up, anything that might make me feel sad or lonely, or maybe I sit there feeling like a failure, I tried to avoid it. Then I tried to find something out there that will make me feel better. And this is where most relationships are going wrong. I am not feeling the better or the best in myself, but I'm going out there looking for this other person. And let's say we connect, but what I'm going into that, and they're doing the same. I'm not saying I am just the only me. The two people come together. One is thinking, oh, they're going to make me feel better. They're going to make me feel happy. And the other's thinking the same. And then what's happening? All of a sudden, if you are not happy in yourself, if you're not validating yourself, if you're not the whole person in yourself, if you're not taking responsibility for yourself, no matter what the other person does, they can't make you happy. We are all looking for external validations out there, and it's never going to work. This is why you're so right about the festive period, about Valentine's Day, all these things. It's the society is built that way. You know, people who initially looked around and thought they are really, really brilliant. Those kind of people who looked at human behavior and thought, this is where I can make money. This is where I can become wealthy. They've whether they did it because they wanted to learn about human psychology or it was just it happened to happen that way, we'll never find out. But the marketing, the psychology around the marketing is so massive that we are just sat there on Valentine's Day. Imagine, like you said, like on Valentine's Day, if you don't have a date, or if you're not in a relationship, if you're not doing something, most of us, and it's true, sometimes it happens even to me, and I talk, and most of us sit there thinking, oh, it's Valentine's Day today, I didn't even get one card, or I didn't even get one. You know, when this thing for Valentine's Day started, when you were in school, 5, 6, 7 years old, you're making Valentine's cards in school, giving it to the guy or the girl or whoever else you like. See how inbuilt that is, that there needs
so
to be
conditioned in us. And the thing is, if we don't feel like we're missing something, we're not buying something. Here's the thing. Here's how consumerism, capitalism, and all of that stuff feeds into these things. We buy these things because if we don't buy them, we feel like we're missing out. And that is, I mean, these particular dates, this is the reason why we get so many people that feel sad around these dates, that feel insignificant, and it's nothing to do with them and everything to do with what they've been made to feel like they're missing out on.
Yes.
And I remember at school, like our French teacher, and like people thought it was cute at the time, but looking back, like you say, it was quite I guess damaging. She would have Freddos, right? So Froggygrams. She would use during the Valentine's period. You could send Froggygrams for 10p. You would go buy a frog, give it to someone for Valentine's Day. Then on Valentine's Day, everyone would count the frogs. Guess who never got a frog? Like a girl never got a Froggygram on Valentine's Day, and I remember being devastated that I never got that. But that really created that empty feeling. It makes
you feel like you're the only unlovable one. Nobody likes you, right? Why would you do that? See, obviously we were too little to think or remember something like that. Why didn't even our parents turn around and say, oh, just go and buy a froggy for yourself?
You get a frog, go buy one. Have 10p, shut up.
Hey, have a pound, buy all of it, and it's only
4 frogs, babes, go in.
Yeah. See, this is it's exactly what it is. And especially when you talked about earlier after Christmas and it's true, during January is the biggest number of breakups and things like that. You know why it is? Because everybody's thinking in January, I want to start my life new.
Right.
See that new year, new me kind of scene. Why would you do that if you hadn't? Then in a sense that you went into December in a completely different mindset of, oh, I need somebody in the festive season. I don't want to be all alone. All of a sudden realize, oh, this person's not right for me. I need new year, new you. That February hits and you're going, oh, right. Yes. New year, new me. But did you really work on yourself in the new year, new me?
Where's the you bit in all of this? Where is the, how we're loving on ourselves a little bit more? And this is, what I love about the work that you do and how you help people. In fact, you put something together for people, particularly for this time of year, to kind of look forward to 2022 and looking at ourselves as a whole. You're doing that today, right? Tell us a little bit more about the workshop that you're running today, and this is for free. So for anybody that's feeling what we're talking about this morning, I really want you to go and get amongst this, because Prash has got so many good actionable tips that you can go and learn this evening. Tell us about it, Prash.
Yeah, so today evening, 6:30, I'm doing a free workshop. It's a free online workshop if for anyone who is interested, like Dani said. And I'm going to talk about so everything I teach, whether I teach in a workshop, whether I teach my clients when I'm doing one-to-one with them, whether I'm talking to my friends, whatever it is, everything came from my experience. Hence the reason I only work with women as well, because my experience has been in this world, in this age, in this birth, in this life as a woman. So
Right.
I teach everything I learned from experience. So in the workshop today, it's going to be about an hour-long workshop, and I'm going to teach women 5 tools, 5 action steps that they can take, 5 different things that they can do that will help them start looking at themselves, start validating themselves, start coming out of that shadow of that relationship and becoming the person they were or they are. They've never lost that person. They just think they've lost it. I want to introduce themselves to themselves again. And these were so I did so many things when my relationship broke down and so much happened. And once I did all of them, when I managed to come out on the other side, what I really literally did was I looked back and said, what were the things that really, because there's so much out there, right? There's so you can do courses every day of your life and still not be able to finish.
Right.
So I looked back and I picked the ones that really, really made a massive, each one of them made an impact, but a massive impact for me to be able to burst out of this depression I was in and start making something of myself. And what I then did was realize, okay, these are the steps that were initially needed. See, you can't change your life you can't build a house until your foundation is set straight, set perfect, set so strong that nothing's going to blow that house away. A huff or a puff is not going to make any difference to it. So this is the 5 steps that will help you create the foundation. And that's what I'm going to teach today in my workshop later on. So if any of you are interested, please feel free to pop in.
So kind of from me, from a community point of view, if you know anybody right now that, I don't know, maybe has gone through a breakup or has been single for a period of time and isn't enjoying that for themselves, I wholly recommend that you jump on the workshop with our Prash this evening. She's going to give you some tips that you can really, really go away and start to do that work on yourself, so that you can step into the rest of this year feeling like you've got yourself and you've got your back, and you don't need someone to come and have it. You can curate your friendship circle to help fill some of those gaps. And then when you've done that work, that's the foundations on which then, if you do want a relationship, stepping forward and finding those things is going to be so much easier and so much more fulfilling. And the reason why I endorse this so much is because I've been there. I've been that person who's sought that validation, who saw themselves as a jigsaw with a missing piece unless it was validated by somebody else. And it was only when I placed that jigsaw piece on myself, saw myself as a whole person, was I able to find a husband like Wallace, for example, to build the family that I've built today, to build even the business that I've got today, knowing that I'm whole. So knowing that some of you out there do struggle with this, knowing some of you out there are on that kind of cycle of, we would call it serial monogamy, but is there, a reason for that? Please do go and check this out. Prash, would you be able to pop the links into the IAT Keeping Hive for us?
I will definitely.
I know you have to. If you go into the Hive and just search Prash Sharma, you'll be able to see the links that she's posted. I've been really behind Prash sharing this with the community because I know so many of you struggle with it. So please, if you have got time tonight, 6:30, Prash will pop the link up for us. Prash, I couldn't be more proud of you, and thank you for the work that you do, because it's so important.
No, thank you. I do feel that. So every time, whenever I speak to anyone and I say to them, when they ask you, what do you do? And I say to them what I do, they're always, the very first reaction, and this is where it kind of tells me that this work is needed, is because they say to me, oh, where were you 7 years ago, 10 years ago when I needed you? I
Yes.
could have done with somebody like you. And then I always say to them, I didn't exist at that time because
Right.
I was going through my own things at that time. So, but I'm here now today to hold anybody's hand who needs a little bit of help and support to come across to the other side. And that is my entire aim anyway, to help somebody just to make that, because it's a very, very icky place. You know it, Dani. It's very
It's dark.
lonely.
It's dark.
Yeah. So if I can just give that, you're looking for that one helping hand just so that you can hold on to. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm offering.
And that is definitely what you get. I mean, I've seen the work that you do with your clients, and it's just absolutely phenomenal. Prash, so proud of you. I can't wait to. I'm going to come along anyway, and come. I always learn every time you speak. I always learn. So I'm coming along to the workshop anyway to come and do some further learning. For me, it's always something. Working on yourself is the most important thing that you can do. Working on yourself as a whole person is the most important work that you can do for anything. So we'll pop the links in the Hive. We'll pop the links on the show this morning. Prash, we'll see you tonight at 6:30.
I'm excited.
Yeah, and as you should be, because the changes that you're going to help people facilitate is just absolutely out of this world. So we love you. We'll see you tonight at 6:30, and we'll grab the links. Thank you so much, Prash Sharma, everybody.
Thank you. Bye.
So that was the gorgeous Prash Sharma, the heartbreak healer, who's hosting a free workshop tonight. For those of you that may be struggling, feeling like they've got that part of themselves missing, particularly at this time of year, it's difficult. She's going to teach you 5 things that you can do to make sure that you're focusing on yourself as a whole and not waiting for another half to come along and make you that way, because it doesn't work like that. All right, my darlings, I hope you enjoyed that talk this morning. If you know anybody who would like to be interviewed or has got something really interesting to share as part of Wise Up Wednesday, please do get in my inbox and let me know. I'm particularly looking for people from diverse backgrounds, people of colour, people from the LGBTQ plus community, disabled people. I'm looking for people who have got something to say about the world that we're living in today as we wise up together on the show at Wise Up Rise Up Show. If you haven't got your tickets already for Be Inspired, speaking about inspirational people, make sure you go to iamaqueenbee.co.uk/events. Go and get your ticket. We're going to be promoting the event from really this week onwards. You're going to be seeing it everywhere. I am unapologetic. As many people we can get in the room and online as possible, the better, because you're going to learn so much at that phenomenal event. It's really going to energize you and recharge you and everything that you're going to need to go in from Q1 to Q2. All right, angels, have a wicked day. I'm going to go back to the Amplify Mastermind right now. We're going to go fire them up, ready to go, and I'm ready to go on them for them to fly as well. I love you. Have a phenomenal day, and I will see you all on Friday for more Showing Up, Rising Up, and Rising Up. Take care.